Uh, yes, I just forgot about that.
Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. So, Julius, do you want me to give you hand signals?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will be giving you 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, 30 seconds left, and then down from 10.
Alright.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Hello, I'm Julius. I'm going to be arguing on the opposition side in this debate. So the resolution is that the United States federal government should ban the use of animal testing in scientific research. I think the key word there is ban. Ban means get rid of, and I don't think we should do that. So we define animal testing as using non-human animals in experiments to refine a product to be fit to use by humans or animals. And we're going to be talking about legal animal testing. Illegal animal testing, I think, is irrelevant to this because that is in people's own hands and it has nothing to do with whether we ban it or not. Those people keep doing it. So we're talking about legal animal testing. We as the opposition believe that animal testing should not be banned, instead be limited to protect the animals. So our counter plan is that the US federal government should impose guidelines as soon as possible to ensure that animals are treated right. We should not ban animal testing altogether. So the kinds of things we'll do to ensure that animals are treated well is that we'll give them we'll make sure that they have comfortable living environments, and we'll only limit testing to only animals that are less sophisticated life forms. And we'll limit certain things that inflict severe pain on the animals. And if they have to be killed, then we should make it in ways that don't promote a lot of suffering for the animals. And also we'll limit the testing to only a certain amount of animals, so not a bunch of animals are being poured in. It has to be refined testing on very few animals to get the results. And we believe this debate should be judged on the quality of the plan and the counter plan, and also the information backing each of those. Okay, so our first contention is that many products need to be tested before they are used on humans. Since you can't test on humans before it is ready, the best option is often to test on animals. And if you took away that animal testing, then these products that need to be used on humans wouldn't be able to go through, or they'd be unproven and faulty products that could harm humans instead of the animals before that. And I think we can all agree here that human lives are more important than animal lives. Since we are being human species, we should focus on our own lives before anything else. Our second contention is that animal research is highly regulated, and there are laws to protect animals. And within our counter plan, we'd be adding more laws to that and protect animals further. So I think animals would be fine, and that they'd be fully protected with ours and the laws that already exist. And our laws would limit testing to make it safe for them, but it wouldn't ban it outright because that would be destructive to the industry and the humans that need to use the products at the end, and also the animals. The best course of action that benefits everyone is to limit but not ban the animal testing. Our third contention is that animal testing is beneficial because many animals have shorter lifespans either way, and the animals won't live that much longer anyway, and that the testing can be done on old animals that were already on their deathbed. So that wouldn't be a huge deal to those animals. And also it can be done on animals that don't have a lot of brain power and won't feel as much pain or know what's happening really. There are also basic human rights which prevent it from being done, the tests to be done on the humans. That's why instead they should be done on the animals. And then a poll by Pew Research showed that 89% of scientists actually favored animal testing to not doing animal testing. So if the scientists that are developing things feel like they need the animal testing, then we should not take that away from them. And without the tests on animals, the medicine cannot be proven and provided, and that could lead to needless human and animal death, because these animal tests, they help create, as well as other things like beauty products or anything else, they also help create medicine and vaccines. And I'd like to add that vaccines were tested on animals, have gone on to save many animal lives themselves. And animal tested vaccines have saved millions of animals from rabies and hepatitis. And maybe a few of them died while making the vaccines, but then that's gone on to save millions of those animals that would not be saved without the animal testing. In terms of their points, they said that banning animal testing will save animal lives. but our limitations, but not banning, would also save animal lives. So that's not entirely relevant just to their argument. It also goes to ours. Saving animal lives is very good, but both of our plans will help that happen. It also help end animal cruelty. Ours also does that, but also animal cruelty won't be ended if you get rid of animal testing. There's all kinds of forms of animal cruelty on like a personal level, like a somebody hurting their pet or something like that. But animal cruelty doesn't just exist in animal testing. It's not exclusive. And also you said that it spreads diseases, but those diseases are used on the animals because they're trying to create vaccines for humans and animals to save the many animals in the future. And the corona thing with the bats in like a laboratory, that's a conspiracy theory that's not proven. So that's not a good thing to be using in an official debate. I just want to make it clear that we will be limiting the animal testing. We won't just let the animal testing go on as it is now. We believe that there needs to be extra steps taken among the steps that have already been taken to ensure the safety of the animals. And for all those reasons, we believe that animal testing should be limited but not stopped, and you should vote for us, the opposition, in this debate. Thank you.
Okay, good job. So now we have the second affirmative speaker, Armin.
Yep. All right.
Do you want me to give you hand signals?
I think I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
All right. So I would like to start off by saying that the opposition never refuted our standard and never gave their own standard, and our standard says net benefits to animals. However, their arguments make sense, but not under the standard. So their arguments should not be counted and for the debate, because the debate should be judged on the standards which their arguments do not follow. And to refute any of their arguments, to start off with, they said that the animal testing for animals helps prevent animal diseases. However, they also said that they also were saying with other parts of diseases, such as coronavirus things, they said that those diseases are put into animals, and I quote, they said, those diseases are put into animals to make vaccines. However, that is not true. Those diseases come from animal testing. All right, so they are testing for animals to make vaccines or products, and in those testings comes out with new harsh diseases like coronavirus or Ebola or swine viruses. That's where those come from. Also, your guys' plan of limiting the testing for the animals, setting guidelines, and also using less smart animals or non-suffering forms of death when doing that is still under the penal code 597, is still technically animal abuse, because the penal code 597 says all animal abuse is legal. So even if you retrofy it and make it so it's smaller and less severe, the penal code 957 still says that all those testings, all forms of torture, which death is torture, even if it's not painful, as painful, there is still pain and the torture of death. All right, so that is technically still illegal. So you would not, although you say you're not supporting the illegal animal testing, all those forms of testing that you said are supported under Penal Code 5, or are against Penal Code 597, and therefore are illegal. So you are supporting the legal ones, which is contradicting of your argument. You said products are dangerous and need to be tested out on animals, otherwise we would not be able to use them. However, you never get. However, those same products, if we know that they are bad for humans, then how come we give ourselves the right to take out, even though we said it's already illegal to hurt them? How come we think, oh, we can still do it, even though they're animals and we're humans and we're more important? However, the Constitution, or not the Constitution, sorry, the U.S. government proposed a law that is passed saying that that argument is not true. Although we might be better and can do more things for ourselves, it's still illegal to do that because it's hurting them, and therefore it would not be supported by saying that, oh, they're not as advanced as us and should not be counted, because the government already said that they should be counted. That's why there is a law saying that they should not be hurt. I yield the rest of my time.
Okay, good job. So now we have the negatives second speaker, Alfred. Do you want me to give you
Okay.
hand signals?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready to go.
All right, I'm ready. So, we did state what this should be judged on. We said we believe the debate should be judged on the quality of the plan and the counter plan and the information backing each plan. So I'll start with that. So all our points should be valid. And also to say what 597 actually says, it says no. It is illegal to intentionally hurt animals, and we're not intentionally hurting animals, so it should not be illegal. To address the other points, you're saying that 100 million animals are killed each year or by animal testing, which might be true, but also millions are saved from the vaccines that are created with animal testing. And say if we were to stop animal testing, then countless more human lives would be lost as well because of the vaccines that were created to help humans, and because of the vaccines that were created for viruses that help humans. Animal cruelty is something that's going to happen whether we test animals or not. And you say that you don't want the animals to be seen as objects. Well, stopping animal testing is not going to stop that. Stopping animal testing is not going to address that issue. Animal testing is something that is done with guidelines and something that's done with rules, and something that is set. So we acknowledge the animals to be valuable enough to make rules for them. So animal testing is not the reason that they are seen as objects, and stopping it will not address this. Animals do have rights, and you talked a lot about the cruelty of animals and how hard it is on animals, and we do accept that it is cruel. That's why we are setting a counter plan to help reduce this. We are setting guidelines. If there are guidelines set already, but we are setting even more guidelines to help reduce this. There's potential to cause animals pain in animal testing, and there always will be. But there's a far greater potential to heal the animals. There's a far greater potential to save lives. And in the end, what it comes down to is whether we want to save lives. If you're going to save lives, you have to test this stuff on something, and animal testing is the best out of all the bad ways to do it. Animal testing is not perfect. That's why we're making a counter plan. But what it is it is what we have to do. If we completely ban animal testing, then what do you propose we're going to test it on? Basically, what you're saying is that all the vaccines that we have found during animal testing, all these vaccines that have led to millions and millions and millions of lives being saved, animal and human, would just not exist, would not be found. And that's just not acceptable. We can't allow millions of human lives to die and animal lives because we are not willing to try. In human testing, in every type of testing, you have to try to get something, and there will be stuff that goes wrong. And same thing goes for animal testing. But if we don't try, then nothing will go right. We can't get any vaccines by not trying. So yeah, I would like to remind you that our counter plan does address most of the issues you talked about with the cruelty. We will reduce that, and we will set our guidelines immediately to stop the foul treatment of animals, because we do not stand for the foul treatment, but testing we do stand for, and this is why you should vote that animal testing should not be stopped.
Okay, great job. So now we have the negatives first speaker, Julius, giving conclusion. Do you want me to give you?
So I think this debate really comes down to the benefit of animal testing versus the negative of animal testing. So on our side, on each side, there's the how good animal testing is for the industry and animals and all that versus how detrimental animal testing is. So with our plan, which is to limit animal testing, but allow it to go on, you check off all the boxes. You allow animal testing to continue on going to produce the medicine and vaccines we needed to save countless lives, and also affect the industries that use animal testing to refine their products. All that industry and health stuff will still be there, but we're also limiting the cruelty of the animals treated, the cruel treatment of the animals, so that the animals are given better conditions. There's less abuse, less pain for the animals, less testing in a whole, and all that stuff is going to help the animals, help ensure the animal safety. So with our plan, you get the best of both. And then I'd like to restate some of our contentions is that animal testing is necessary. According to 89% of scientists, they think animal testing is important to their work. And these are medical professionals. These aren't like beauty people. These are people developing the things that save lives for humans and animals. And also, animal testing helps create the vaccines and medicine that save countless lives across animals and humans. So there's might be the few animals that die during the testing to develop those things, which will be less with our plan that's giving them better conditions and less testing. It'll be less of that, and then you'll still be able to get the vaccines that save all the lives. So there's countless more lives saved than lives lost, and the lives lost are going down due to our plan. We also believe that animal testing regulations are already very good, and then they'll keep getting better with our plan, and then that'll be able to stop the cruelty that you speak of and the animal testing. So all your points about the cruelty and how animals need to be treated better also go in favor of us, because we are also trying to limit the cruelty, but we just don't think that you can get rid of all the you can get rid of animal testing as a whole, because it'll affect the industry, it'll affect the medicine, it'll affect the vaccines, and that'll end up killing way more animals as well as humans in the long run. So a few animals have to be lost. We're going to try to make that less and less, but in the long run, the animal testing is really important to economy, industry, all the whole vaccines and all that stuff. And for those reasons, we believe that animal testing should be limited, but not abolished. And Armand, you have a question, a point of information? You're on mute.
You're muted. You're muted.
All right then.
I didn't realize I was muted. Really quickly, if all the regulations are good right now, then how come currently more than 100 million animals each year are killed from research purposes alone?
Those are the reasons we need to. The reason that it isn't higher is because of the regulations that already exist, and our regulations in our plan are the ones that are going to bring it down to more reasonable numbers that are good for the world. Thank you.
Okay, good job. Now we have the first affirmative speaker, Adam. This is the last speech. So, do you want me to give you hand signals?
No, I'll tell myself.
Okay, whenever you're
All
ready.
right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, what this debate boils down to is the fact of the standard. And the standard, I want to remind you, was net benefits to animals, specifically not to humans. Now, if it was just net benefits, then of course they would win because it is beneficial to humans, but the standard is specifically net benefits for animals, and we have undoubtedly proven that our plan is far superior to animals than their plan is. Their plan is better for humans, our plan is better for animals, and the standard was set to be net benefits to animals. They could have disputed the standard, they did not. They just said, we think the round should be weighed based on the quality of the two plans, which isn't really a valid weighing mechanism. Therefore, our standard of net benefits to animals stands, if you will. So what we said and what we've proven is that our plan would save 100 million animals each year from this testing, which is clearly net beneficial to animals. our plan, it prevents animal cruelty, which is clearly beneficial to animals because animals suffer a lot of animal cruelty at the hands of the testing. And we'll give them the virus thing. Donald Trump did, yeah, we'll ignore the virus thing. We can see that argument to them. Their only argument why their plan was better for animals than ours is that the vaccines save millions of animals each year. I don't think this is true. I am not aware that animals are ever vaccinated for the flu or other things. I think they're given antibiotics for worms and such, but they've given no evidence as to why, as to animals being vaccinated. Of course, humans get vaccinated for viruses, and animals are tested on, but they've given no evidence as to numbers or anything as to animals being injected and getting immunity from viruses. So their claim that vaccines will save animals doesn't really hold. We don't give animals a flu vaccine every year. We don't. And even if we did, we'd still have to vaccine 100 million animals for them to save as many animals as we do. So simply, so their argument simply doesn't flow through. At the end of the day, the standard was set to be net benefits to animals, and our plan is clearly better for animals because it saves them. It does not help humans. We will concede that their plan is far better for humans, but the standard was not the weighing mechanism for this round had nothing to do with humans, and so their arguments should not be counted for the round for in favor of humans. Between our two plans, our plan saves more animals than their plan does, and it prevents more animal cruelty than their plan does. And for this reason and this reason alone, you must vote Gov for this debate. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, good job, everyone. So the ballots will be released at the end of the tournament. And yeah, so I think you can just go back to the main room. Good job, everyone.